another each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Morning, all my fellow trudgers. Ugh, let's get good stretches in. Ugh, gotta do something while I'm waiting for people. Put these books away. Yeah, happy. Sorry for the dead ether for a second. um, yeah, morning. As close as I'm gonna get. Ugh. Woke up to a weird world, man. People are now complaining about the bullshit in Colorado. The shit that people are pulling. I'm like, no shit. You didn't want to believe me 4 years ago. Okay, then. Oh, that's what you said. Sorry, I'm reading something here. Okay. All right. We'll get back to that. Yeah. People can change, and I believe that because otherwise I wouldn't believe the fact that I changed. But anyway, we're going to be reading out of the big book. We're just going to do a big book reading today. I wasn't really into any of the reflections or anything. But I hope everybody's having a good day. It's Wednesday. We have our 2 o'clock. We have our 2 o'clock meeting, and clearly chat is not working this morning because people are saying hi and stuff. Good morning, Leisure. Hello, Heather. Go ahead and keep chatting, and I'll just go back and forth and check up on those. So feel free to continue. It's not going to pop up here, so I'm not going to see it right away. But I will switch over every now and again to catch up on those. All right, let's do some introductions. Let's talk about this stuff. This probably isn't going to be too very long of one. I got a lot of stuff to get done today. But welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Live or the rewatch. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. Now, before I get going, I've been having some doubts, man, lately. It's just it has to do with the grassroots meeting. Just I need more people to help out. It gets wearing doing everything, and then I don't want to be there and stuff. It affects me. Such are growing pains, right? And it isn't that anybody's doing anything wrong or right or anything like. I need more help in the group, man. Um, I do everything, and it can't continue like that. If it continues that way, I'll shut the group down because that is not how AA works, and I won't do it that way myself. And no, it'll be going against traditions, and I can't do that. So, but it'll get worked out. I just need more people to sign up, or I'll start voluntolding them. I'm kind of hoping people show up to the 2 o'clock meeting. The person that usually comes with me won't be there today, so I'm hoping at least some other people join the meeting. I don't want to be there alone. And if I'm there for a half hour and nobody shows up, I will leave. I got better things to do with my time than sit in a room. All right. So let's work on getting a little bit better of an attitude. I'm a little, not necessarily irritated or mad. I don't know what I am. Frustrated, maybe? I don't know. So I'm not angry with anybody, so. All right. Most of us have been unwilling to admit we're a real alcoholic. No person likes to think he is bodily and mentally different from his fellows. Yeah, it's not okay to be different, is it? You know how I'm different. I tend to tell the truth. People don't want to hear it. I am the unpopular opinion. All right. I don't go for popular. I don't do those kinds of things. But I did want to feel like I fucking belong somewhere, right? I didn't want to feel that. You know, alcoholism is a lonely business. I never really had friends. I don't have any high school friends. I didn't go to high school. I didn't hang out with the kids that I met from group homes. I didn't hang out with them. They were bad influences. I was the bad influence, by the way. I was one of them. Right. So, that's why I'm so protective of AA. It's because it's the only place I have to go where I actually fucking belong. See, my drinking wasn't, I never tried to control my drinking. I never tried to do any of that. All right. So for me, for me, it had to do with trying to fit in. At least I was something, and an alcoholic was something, and I could be that at least. All right. Therefore, it's not surprised that our drinking careers have been characterized by countless vain attempts to prove we could drink like other people. Never did it. I never tried. I knew I was an alcoholic from age 14. I knew. I took it as name calling though, because even now, Friday I have to go meet with this psychiatrist, and we're going to be talking about ADHD. That'll be the fifth mental illness, and I feel like there's a part of me that just feels like I'm being duped about my mental illnesses. It really does, because I mean, anxious. There we go. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you, Leisure. Yeah, I'm feeling anxious about it. That's the best way to put it, because I'm not angry or even like when I said frustrated. I'm not even that. you know. So anxious was the word. Thank you for that. All right. So I didn't do that. I understand why people do it. I do. But I did not go through that. The methods of trying to quit drinking, I did not, a lot of them I did not do. I did not try and switch brands. I didn't take a trip. I did move to California at one point to drink myself to death. But even then, I knew I was still hurting people. I just figured I could make the pain less. That was my thought process. I knew I was hurting people, so I kept them out of my life so I didn't hurt them. But that's what hurt them the most. The idea that somehow someday he will control and enjoy his drinking is the great obsession of every abnormal drinker. The persistence of this illusion is astonishing. Many pursue it in the gates of insanity or death. Now, I was caught in the illusion. I was caught in an illusion that there wasn't anything out. I don't know. I don't know what the illusion was, but I was caught in it. See, I had all the information. Even I got all the information when I was like 14, 15, 16. I never, ever, ever got to drink without a head full of AA. No, I never went through that, or hasn't been a part where it hasn't been like that. All right, but I still chose to chase it into insanity or death. I welcomed it. Oh, you're crazy. I'm like, I know I'm insane. I've embraced my insanity, and we get along great. You got a fucking problem with that? See, mean and crazy. It's a combination people just don't fuck with. They don't. Leisure says a lot of mental illnesses have similar symptoms. A lot of those symptoms are also visible in alcoholism. Yes, they are. But since I am now a recovered alcoholic, alcoholism is no longer one of the problems. But you are right. A lot of them look alike. I would absolutely, I would agree with that. We learned that we had to fully concede to our innermost selves that we were alcoholics. This is the first step in recovery. The delusion that we are like other people or presently maybe has to be smashed. I never felt like I was like other people. I never. And I'm not trying to talk against this. I'm just giving you my own experience because I know other people have gone through this experience also. So I want them to know that they're not alone. I agree with everything that they are saying here because I've worked with a lot of other alcoholics who have done this, where they tried to control their drinking. I always drank on the fuckets. I just did not care. Mostly I was trying to drink away my empathy. I think that's what it probably was. All right. Leisure says, but you still have to work on your problems each day. Yep. See, the recovery is the same. You know, I'm what I would call a recovered alcoholic. It means I'm no longer insane. That's what that means. There is no cure for alcoholism. It is only maintained. Just like my other mental illnesses. There is no cure for PTSD. My anxiety, I will always have my anxiety. It just depends on what level it is at the present moment. Depression seems to be going away for the most part, though. I don't want to turn around in an hour and be depressed. So I'm knocking on wood. All right, but the delusion that we are like other people has to be smashed. We alcoholics are men and women who have lost the ability to control our drinking. We know that no real alcoholic ever recovers control. I'm actually seeing this word all over the place. People trying to get other people. So we're going to show you in 3 easy steps how to take control of your drinking. Now that might be okay for somebody that has a drinking problem, but not for an alcoholic. That's not going to work. They might be able to do that. I do not know. But I know as an alcoholic, there is no cure for alcoholism. What I get is a daily reprieve contingent on my own attitude. That's what I get. Whatever I put out is what I'm going to get back. And if I'm putting out negative, I'm going to get negative back. But if I'm out there trying to put out positive stuff, I tend to get positive things back. You ever watch the show My Name is Earl? It's a ninth step. The whole thing is one long eighth and ninth step. The whole show, right? So it turns out that this guy Earl, who lives, he's what we would call white trash. He's a cracker, right? And I can say that because I'm white, right? So I can get away with saying that. I don't give a fuck if anybody says it. I don't care. But he wins the lotto, right? But then he gets hit by a car and loses his lotto ticket, and then he does something nice for somebody, and then he finds out that he gets the ticket back, and what he does is he ends up taking that money. He writes a list of all the people he has ever hurt in his life, and he goes out and he makes reparations, and that's the basis of the show. Okay, and it's real simple. Do good things happen. Do bad things, and bad things happen. And it's true. It's true. All right. All of us felt at times that we were regaining control, but such intervals, usually brief, were inevitably followed by still less control. Now there are a lot of times when I did try to quit, but could not. And every time I tried to quit, it was harder to do so. To do so. Leisure says, I love you, brother. A big part for my cure for my mental health is recognize the problem, finding coping mechanisms that work for me, different mechanisms for different people. Yeah. Yeah, we all work a little differently. And that's okay. We're supposed to. We are not terminally unique, but we are beautifully unique. Okay. Which in time led to pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization. We are convinced to a man that alcoholics of our type are in a grip of a progressive illness over any considerable period. We get worse, never better. Alcoholism is a progressive disease. There are a lot of diseases that are progressive. That means that they get worse as time goes on. Okay? So, I'm going to tell you something. You do not need alcohol in you in order for your alcoholism to progress. You just need not do anything about it. Maybe you got sober, but you're not doing anything about it. Well, you're still doing the same old crap of abusing people, manipulating people, telling people what to do. You're playing God, probably going to die of a heart attack because your anger is so high. There we are. Progressive disease. We're like men who've lost their legs, they never grow new one. Neither does there appear to be any kind of treatment which will make alcoholics of our kind like other men. Oh man, there's a pill that comes out, it's going to let me drink normally. I'm going to take 15 of those and I'm going to get so drunk. See, it does, I can't fathom it. I cannot think of alcohol without thinking about getting drunk. And there's nothing in this world that's going to change that thought process. I can intervene. See, ask any alcoholic, how does one drink sound? That's just going to make them angry. It's going to make them anxious. I got petting a cat at the same time here. Right. In some instances, there's been brief recovery followed up by still worse relapse. Physicians who are familiar with alcoholism agree there's no such thing as making a normal drinker out of an alcoholic. Science may one day accomplish this, but it hasn't done so yet. Despite all we can say, many who are real alcoholics are not going to believe that they are in this class. By every form of self-deception and experimentation, they will try and prove themselves exception to the rule, therefore non-alcoholic. And I watch this happen. I do. I see it happen. But I never thought for a second I was like other people. Good morning, Clara. So chat is not working here, so I'm going over to YouTube every now and then to check on chat. So if I do not respond to you right away or not at all, that is why. It's not my fault, man. It's not my fault. Right? You're being very lovely today. What do you want? You see something? You see something? Go get it. All right. If anyone who's showing inability to control his drinking can do a right about face, drink like a gentleman, our hats are off to him. Heaven knows we have tried hard enough and long enough to drink like other people. All right, I'm going to do some skipping here. All right, let's go to the bottom of page 33. To be gravely affected, one does not necessarily have to drink a long time, nor take the quantities some of us have. This is particularly true of women. Potential female alcoholics often turn into the real thing and are gone beyond recall in a few years. Right? The length of time that women drink and men drink tend to vary. Women tend to get to the program earlier than men do. because the consequences catch up to them. The physical consequences of alcohol tend to catch up to them more. Um, I don't know the reason behind that. I don't know the clinical reason, but I do know that that's what I've seen. Doesn't happen all the time. Alcohol took me pretty quick, man. So who knows? Who knows if that's totally true? Because it's not. But in general, it is, right? Certain drinkers who would be greatly insulted if called alcoholics are astonished at their inability to stop. We who are familiar with the symptoms see large numbers of potential alcoholics among young people everywhere, but try and get them to see it. As we look back, we could feel we had gone drinking many years beyond the point where we could quit on our own willpower. If anyone questions he has entered this dangerous area, let him try leaving liquor alone for 1 year. Now, why'd they put 1 year? Do you think you could stay? Think about it. 1 year? No, I can't do that. See, is proof, right? If he is a real alcoholic and very far advanced, there's scant chance of his success. In the early days of our drinking, we occasionally remained sober for a year or more, becoming serious drinkers again later. Though you may not be able to stop, you may be able to stop for a considerable period. You may yet be a potential alcoholic. We think with to whom this book will appeal can stay dry for anything like a year. Some will be drunk the day after making their resolution, most of them within a few weeks. Yep. Yep. All right. I think that's we're going to go to the very end. I'm going to do a couple more paragraphs. I got to kind of wrap this one up here. I got to get some stuff ready, and I had some personal things to take care of. So, many doctors and psychiatrists agree with our conclusions. One of these men, staff member of a world renowned hospital, recently made this statement to some of us. What you say about the general hopelessness of the average alcoholic flight, in my opinion, is correct. As to you two men whose stories I've heard, there is no doubt in my mind that you are 100% hopeless apart from divine help. Had you offered yourself as patients of this hospital, I would not have taken you if I'd have been able to avoid it. People like you are too heartbreaking. Though not a religious person, I have profound respect for the spiritual approach in such cases as yours. For most cases, there is virtually no other solution. Once more, the alcoholic at certain times has no effective mental defense against the first drink. Yeah, got to be careful. That's why we need to ask ourselves questions. Why am I going here? Do I have any good business? Am I sitting on the fence? What are my intentions? Am I going to cause more confusion than harmony? These are the questions I need to ask before I go places where there's going to be alcohol and conviviality going on. Because I can get caught up in the excitement of the whole thing real easy. Won't even think about it. Now, I've been at 9 years. All right. Neither he nor any other human can provide such a defense. His defense must come from a higher power. All right. That's going to be it for this one. I appreciate everybody being here. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And